faces. All right. So welcome to Public Forum. Keep hitting my mic. So I have today's instruction up for you guys. If you have any questions, yeah, Shannon, if you have any questions, please let me know so I can get you guys, questions answered. So please take notes. Yeah. So we're going to do these questions. We're going to answer them today as we go through stuff. What is public forum debate? What does a good public forum debate look like? And how do you determine who wins a debate? Okay. So here are the vocab and things you should know. Public forum happens in pairs. So each of you guys will need a partner. 2 heads are better than 1. Debaters are given a topic, which is the resolution in advance, and must prepare arguments on both sides, which is both pro and con. This includes preparing by writing a 4-minute speech for each side, which is called the case. Okay. Open up the pack and go over the structure of the public forum round. Each debater will need to speak twice. Each debater will have a chance to answer the question of the debates and answers in a thing called crossfires. Debates are judged by regular people from our community, and there's usually our parents, teachers, business owners. It could be anybody. And the goal is to persuade any person that your side of the resolution is correct. The judge will put aside their personal opinion to pick the best debate team as the winner. Debaters and judges will track the debating by flowing. Flowing is what a vocabulary word that you guys will hear thrown a lot around in debate. Flowing is basically just taking notes. That's all that means. Flowing, taking notes. We'll do a flowing exercise today too, so you guys can know what it looks like. Flowing is debate note-taking. It is how debaters know how and what to refute, and how judges follow the debate, and how to decide who is winning. Students should jot down notes as they listen to the debate. We teach flowing in another lesson. On the board, fill out the information at the top of the ballot. On the top of the ballot with the names of the competitors and in the demonstration debate. So I will show you guys a demo debate today too. We'll go through and watch one on YouTube. So I'm going to show you guys to this, the public forum. I'm going to show you guys the public forum evidence so you guys have a clear view of what I'm talking about when I say you're going to have to write your speeches in blocks, and what does it look like for cross-ex and things like that. Crossfire, I misspoke. So this evidence pack is available in the student folder under evidence. If you fill out the Baudl registration form, you can get it mailed to you. But if you would like to see a digital copy, it's available under the students folder under evidence and public forum. So again, this is the Baudl evidence. So as you see, this is how the speakers and your debate round will go. Speaker 1, constructive, has 4 minutes. They'll be the one presenting the case. Speaker 1 has a constructive to answer, and they'll be the one presenting the nay case. Then you have a thing called crossfire, where pro speaker 1 and con speaker 1 alternate on asking and answering questions. So that's cross-ex. Speaker 2 then has rebuttal for 4 minutes, refute the opposing side's arguments. Speaker 2 then has rebuttal as well. So that's when you see speaker 1 and 2, that's you and your partner, and then it alternates whether you're on pro or con side. So then you have crossfire again. Then you have a thing called summary. From speaker 1, you have 2 minutes, and that's where you begin settling the main issues of the round and why you're winning them. So this is when you guys are answering each other and why you think you deserve to win. Summary, and then after that, you have grand crossfire, which is when all 4 debaters are involved in the crossfire at once. So that's you, your partner, and the opponents are out asking questions back and forth. And then you have final focus from speaker 2, and those are going to be the closers of your debate round. So whoever is speaker 2 should be the most passionate about that side, should be the one that is going to really drive home the point of why you guys deserve to win. Any questions about the setup of debate so far? No? All right. So I'm going to close this. So I'm going to show you guys, we're going to do a little exercise of what it looks like to flow. I'm about to show you guys what it looks like, a flow paper. And this is going to be available after today's practice. It'll be in the students folder under week 4, so you guys can look at it. So let me go ahead and pull this over here. So make your sheet of paper. Again, flowing is what, I don't know if I need to zoom in for you guys. Flowing is the way that you're going to take notes during your debate round. In your debate round, flowing is the way that you're going to take notes in your debate round. So make sure you get a piece of paper. Make sure it looks like this. You see how it's like laid out on the top. Baudl 4 minutes, constructive, rebuttal, summary, final focus. If you want to print this out, again, it'll be available in the students folder under week 4 for middle school for you guys. So if you're like, I'd rather just print a couple of these off to use, you're more than welcome to. We are about to then do a flow debate, and you guys are going to flow a rap music video. The reason it's going to be a rap music video is because rap music is pretty fast. So if you're able to break up what they're saying in between verse, chorus, bridge, then you're going to do fairly well at understanding debaters. From this flowing exercise, we're then going to watch a public forum debate where you guys are then going to practice flowing that too. And we're going to break down their arguments and things they use. So this argument is just to teach you guys how do we flow. So does everybody have the sheet up or have the paper formed already for the public forum note taking? Does everybody already have that down so I can switch the screen shortly? If you have, give me a thumbs up. If we're good to go and I can take it down, give me a thumbs up so I can move it. Cool? Okay. So video's going through ads. The name of the video is Yellow Pain. My vote don't count. I'm not even gonna flow with y'all. We all gonna do it together. All right. Than 270. Thumbs up if you can hear. Become the 44th president of the United States. He will be the first African American president of the United States. I've been broke all my life, but I kept hope all them nights. You see business in my city? Yeah, they closed all them twice. I was just riding down Salem, all them damn potholes. I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try. Don't nobody care about us. And that's why I vote. Voted for Obama back in 2012. I remember that's when I had hope. He was saying, yes, we can. And everybody got less food stamps. And when I turned 21, I was still broke. I'd never vote again. I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Did it out on my own. Ain't no politician ever do a nice gesture. I don't even know the man's name. I ain't never seen her one time ever. Tell me how she gonna help the city. What I'm supposed to do, write letters. What I'm supposed to do, blame Trump. He ain't never really gave a ain't nobody raised minimum wage. None of these jobs pay enough. I think they just want to keep us broke. So they ain't putting nothing in place for us. This how all my people feel, but we gotta learn. We complain enough. Let me change it up. Who wanna go first? What do you have so far? Leo.
I feel like he's talking about how like the politicians don't really impact his life in a positive way, and how like people undermine him, and how wages aren't fair and stuff like that.
Who else? Who else wants to go ahead and share something? Anything you guys heard that stood out to you? There's no wrong answers. What did you guys hear? So, yeah, Sophia.
I think he was trying to say something like people weren't listening to him and something like that.
Right. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of notes to use too. So what I heard is like businesses are closed. There's bad streets in his neighborhood. He doesn't feel like he should vote. Each president has less than with less money. He don't even know who the mayor is. Did you guys hear any of those kind of things too? So again, you're going to be listening most of the time in the debate. So you got to really listen hard to what stands out to you in the most important things that they're saying. Whether you agree or not, it doesn't really matter. It's what is the person saying and the message they're trying to convey, right? So we good for the next part? Everybody ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're good to go. All right. Pause. What did you guys hear? Wait, I got Virginia in the chat, and then I see Sophia hand up. Hold on. Virginia, I think he was talking about how he feels like he is not heard, or like the name of the video, his vote doesn't count. Good eye. Sophia, Ella. Sophia and then Ella.
I feel like he's saying that the government's not giving them the ability to do something, probably like voting. That they're not listening to them and stuff, like I said last time.
Ella and Leo.
I think he's kind of talking about how, you know, you elect the president and everyone's kind of focused on that, but the president only really has so much power. He has like a legislative agenda, but if you don't vote for legislation like in Congress, in the Senate, in the House, then the president doesn't have as much power. He doesn't have as much room to do what you elected him for. And so people also need to focus on that aspect of voting.
Nice, Leo. Then I had anybody else got something? Ella again.
I felt like he was also trying to make a point that since President Obama was the first African American president, the 44th president, he basically stood out more for African Americans. He was he wasn't racist and all that.
Anybody else? Leo?
I think he was also talking about how Obama's vision for the economy was very different because he tried to do was build a strong middle class and try and bring people up from where they were rather than focusing on richer people like you sometimes see with other politicians. So that directly correlates to him speaking about how he lives in poor neighborhoods, you know, how his wages aren't that high. That's what Obama's, you know, was supposed to be, hope. He was, you know, trying to bring people out of the slums and create a stronger middle class economy.
Good notes.
Which eventually worked.
Good job, Leo. I was gonna say something you guys should also take into practice. If one of your like teammates during our practice says something that's like super good, take notes of it. You should definitely take each other's ideas and think about it. So if somebody's saying something that you didn't think about, definitely take note of it because you want to be able to use that argument when you guys going around. So even though you guys aren't debating this right now, just a practice to keep in mind, like, hey, that was a good point, or I didn't think of that. Anybody else got something to share before we go to the last part of this? All right.
Someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.
What you guys think of that? What was the last part? Sophia.
What I heard was, I think he said something like, they don't know who to vote, or they might have said that because he was probably trying to say that they don't know who they can depend on to hear them out, or something like that.
Leo.
I think it was kind of a summary and what to really take away from the video, like vote for more than the president, and that when you don't vote, other people in power make the decision for you. So if you actually do vote for a president, if you actually do vote for legislation, they can make a decision that is better for you and that is in your interest.
Good analysis. Anybody else can take anything from that? Anybody else? I see we got Lily, Natalie, Zach. Who else can? Shannon. Anybody else want to give me some? What they heard from that song? Yara. Anybody? Ella got her hands up. If you don't want to unmute yourself, you can put it in the chat. Just what you got from that. That's cool too. If you didn't get nothing, you can put that too. Ella, you're on mute.
I thought that basically kind of when he stopped, when the person who was rapping, when he slowed down his rap, he was kind of talking about focus on the president, and he was kind of saying things like, imagine what life would be like when it was different, and kind of sounded like a lot of discrimination was happening, which is what is happening in the world too.
Good analysis. So we're going to do one more, and then we're going to watch the public forum debate, and we're going to close out for the day. So this is one more flooring exercise. So get a brand new sheet of paper. Ooh, Emily, yes. I couldn't see the sun. Emily, like, you're on mute.
Okay, sorry. I heard how they were
I can't hear you, Emily. Your mic is cutting in and out. If somebody else is on off mute, I can't hear anybody. I know Emily was just talking, but I can't hear you through your mic, Emily. You're more than welcome to put it in the chat, and I can read it out loud. Same thing for anybody else. If you want to add to that before we start the next one, if you want to share anything, put it in the chat. If you can't talk on the mic right now, that's fine too. All right, we ready to get started for the next video? Give me a thumbs up, and I can start it. If we all good to roll, y'all. All right, all right. This one is Lupe Fiasco, Hip Hop Saved My Life.
Mother, sister, cousin, stack that cheese. He couldn't think of nothing, stack that cheese. He turns down the beat, writer's block impedes. Crying from the next room, a baby in need of some pampers and some food and a place to sleep. That plus a black Cadillac on D's is what keep him on track to be a great MC.
What do we get? What y'all hear? Nobody, hands up. What y'all hear?
He wanted to be more like the people on like TV.
Yes. Isn't that kind of relatable? How many of us see stuff in Riches and Promises on TV, which looks a lot different from where he's rapping at right now, right? What else do you guys see? What do y'all see on there? Or what did y'all hear? Anybody else got something to share? Virginia, I think he is talking about living in a bad neighborhood, and he likes the one, and he wants the best for his family. Again, isn't that pretty relatable to like want more for your family, right? Being a parent and trying to figure out what's the best move. All right, thumbs up for the next verse. We ready? Everybody ready? Ready? All right. I got Shannon and Ella.
It kind of looked like he was sharing some things online and he's gathering more people's attention so he could like make awareness or something.
Nice. Ella.
It the rapping, and when it said on the screen, it said like "pay me" or something. And then with the rap, I got that everybody in his family, his mom, his dad, his brother, they're all working really, really hard, and it kind of sounded like they didn't have enough money.
Nice. Nice. You guys are following. So you see how from the first verse to the second, it's kind of like telling a story, right? So you're kind of building, and Leo pointed this out in the last song, like the more this person is talking, you're getting a deeper analysis, all to come to the end of like this paragraph or essay and say, now this is what I want you to take away from it. Your debate speeches are going to be set up the exact same way. So good eye in catching that rhythm of how we communicate and how people get information. So last verse, we ready? Can I get a thumbs up? We all ready to roll? Our story, leave us. What did he say was going on?
He got successful and he gave all his family members like nice money.
Sorry about that.
And like the song like hip hop saved him.
Nice. Nice. Leo.
I was just gonna say about like how hip hop kind of brought him out of the slums and how he's kind of using his platform to and what money he has to bring his mother out of poverty, well, not poverty, but worse neighborhoods and stuff like that.
Nice. I got Shannon in the chat. It sounded like he earned an opportunity to earn more money and was able to afford normal day things and live in a better area. Good observation, Shannon. Anybody else got something for me? Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, so we are going to watch a part of this public forum debate. The resolution is, sorry about that. The resolution of what they're going to be talking about is the cost of college education outweighs the benefit. So get a new sheet of paper. We're going to jump right into that video. As you guys seen, it kind of starts in the midpoint, so you're more than welcome to watch it again on YouTube. If you would like the link I'm going to post in the chat for you guys to reference later on. But we're not gonna get to watch the entire video. We're just gonna watch some snippet, and then we're gonna have some discussion with it. Any questions about that? Questions? All right, here we go.
Want to invest this money? Essentially, their argument that you can invest the money it requires two things. First of all, they have to prove that they have the knowledge to invest. These people haven't gone to college. How do they know how to invest? But thirdly, because they haven't gone to college, they don't have the capital necessary to invest in these areas. Therefore, you don't see the economic benefits their opponents claim. This is no other option but a negative ballot. Thank you.
I know they're talking fast. No, you do not have to talk that fast in your round. Just again, listen as best as you can.
Oh, right. Tejas Pradeep, Tejus. Last name Pradeep. All right, now is everyone ready? Okay. So first, look at framework. They say we need to look at society first. Rather, we look at individuals before society. We do this for two reasons. First, the resolution doesn't say the cost of college education. It says the cost of a college education. That's inherently individual. But second, well, remember that college is a transaction between a customer, a producer, and a customer. At that point, it's an individual level decision. I have to choose to whether or not I want to go to college specifically. Sure, these impacts can coalesce and create societal impacts, but only when these individual impacts should be prioritized over societal impacts. Second, my second observation is the recession. This is the biggest point in today's round. According to Al Lee of PayScale, all of the studies they like to throw at you in today's round just don't matter, because for a fact, Al Lee writes that these are people, college graduates, that managed to make it out before the recession. Rather, this resolution is in the present tense. For people that are graduating at this very moment, college graduates coming out right now, the situation is drastically different. That's why we give you 5 unique hurdles that they must tackle for them to access any individual impacts, which are prerequisites in today's round. Lastly, causality. According to the University of North Carolina, Frederick Lutz actually writes that 70% of the causation, 70% of the difference in the money that these people make is not due to college, but rather the fact that these people are from higher socioeconomic classes, have more intrinsic motivation. That's what causes these impacts. They have absolutely no causality. This erodes 70% of it. They must prove. Let's go to their first point. They talk about the economy. Their subpoint talks about income specifically, and they give you this 1.3 million stat, but according to PayScale, only 3% of institutions actually give you the specific stat, even if you buy it, even though it's a post pre-recessionary stat. When you use probabilistic theory and look at the average American's not going to get this, but their own source, Hill, actually agrees that he has absolutely no causality whatsoever. Their subpoint B talks about productivity gains, and they say that, look, you can make more productivity, but the University of Wisconsin responds to this by saying that college trades off with other things you can do, like investing and having job experience, and he finds that these other avenues are actually 44% make a person 44% more productive than college education specifically. College education education prevents this from happening. It's a cost, and that's why you should vote for our side. The response is that people don't know where to invest, but actually, according to the source we brought up in our case, people, when they invest in safe stocks, even still, they make higher rate of return. There's no point C's talks about spillover, but they need to be winning the individual first. But actually, the New York Times writes that dropouts actually cost society $4 billion. Now, remember the hurdles in today's round. People are not ready for college. They shouldn't be going there in the first place. Second, loans. Remember that 63% of people, the majority of people, have trouble paying back these loans even 20 years after. 3, dropouts. Dropouts cost society $4 billion. Now, they're going to get up here and tell you they still make more money than high school graduates. There is no causality. The reason why that occurs is people in higher socioeconomic statuses go to college more often. When they drop out, their families have more money. There's so many external factors that are causing them to gain more money. Let's go to their second point, indirect benefits. Their subpoint talks about the institutional gains. Notice their only impact is specifically limited to Arizona. I'd like them to really Arizona State University. I'd like them to expand to the United States, since this really doesn't exist with most universities. Most universities don't actually lead to these like spillover benefits. But remember, we completely outweigh, because dropouts cost the United States $4 billion, which is more than their statistics specifically. Let's go to their subpoint B about welfare. In fact, you see in today's round that people that have a college education are actually, in today's economy, going to be more dependent on welfare in the future. That's because these people can't pay off their debts. These people are defaulting more and more on their loans. That's making them dependent on the government. They're getting bad credit. At that point, these people are the people that are truly becoming more dependent. Remember, they need to surpass all 5 hurdles to possibly access any of their impacts in today's round. Let's go to the third point, crime. In fact, in response to this, we find that according to the University of Michigan, white-collar crime is the biggest problem. 46% of Americans are affected by this, and this costs us $4 billion every single year. We completely outweigh. Also, they have absolutely no causality. And then lastly, with criminal, like needed jobs, they said, look, we need doctors and stuff, but we're not getting doctors right now. Only about 1/3 of people that actually go into STEM majors are actually coming out as graduates. Sure, doctors exist now, but that's because of the cost-benefit ratio of college education in the past, not during this recessionary time period. Thank you.
Woo, that was a tough 4 minutes. What y'all think? What did you hear in there? Well, I know it's pretty scary. You're like, oh my gosh, is that who I'm up against? No, look at everybody in your class right now. That is who you're up against. So, like, please don't stress yourself out. Don't pull your hair out. Don't go crazy. But let's talk about it. It sounds like he just got into them. Why we shouldn't send everybody to college. It sounds like that's the negative side. So if you were unsure who we're joining in, it sounds like that's the con side, making arguments why people should not go to college. So let's discuss it. What are some notes that you guys heard, or what did y'all hear in that? I got Carson. He gives good evidence and sources. Absolutely, Carson. Shannon.
It was a little hard to listen, but I heard him say some stuff that a lot of people were not ready for college. That a lot of people couldn't pay off the loans after a while, and only a very small amount of people that even went to college could actually get a job related to the thing that they were studying.
He's making some really tough points, right? Who else? What else did y'all hear? There is no wrong answers. We all here interpret things differently. So I want to hear from you guys. What did you hear? You can put it in the chat. If you can't speak on your mic, you're more than welcome to put it on the chat. Any questions about what you guys seen? Ask me any questions? Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some of the notes I have, and then we're going to watch one more side of the speech, which is going to be the pro side trying to answer those tough arguments, right? So what I heard was it's an individual choice for people to want to go, right? So why would we invest in something that's really up to the person to make an individual choice? Just because you offer college as being something doesn't mean everybody will go. The economy. It takes a toll on the economy to be able to pay for everybody to go to college. And the deeper hole, if they don't go, more than likely they'll go into more poverty. And they broke that down into saying the cost of dropouts is around $4 billion from college tuition, and also leading to them having to use the welfare system to stay afloat once they do drop out of college. It did not guarantee that because you went to college, you would have a job that would pay for you to be able to pay it back, and that those people still mostly rely on welfare. It also says that crime is another thing to think about. That white collar crime, which is supposed to be smart people crime, is going to go up because people will have been more trained thieves going to college. That's a random argument they also make. And they also say, I'm assuming the pro side made the argument that this will make more doctors available for our country to produce because they're going to college. And the con side says, it does not say that just because you go to college, everybody's going to become a doctor, right? So everybody got that so far? So far we good? All right, thumbs up. Next speech, ready? We all good? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Nice. It looks like they're about to start rapid fire the cross-ex.
Can we see two pieces of evidence? First, that all post-recessional studies can be used, and that wait, no, that's just my sorry. Then the stuff that says that 70% of the increase in income is because of ability. Absolutely, it's on my laptop. Do you want me? Do you want it? Sure. Your partner can pull it up, I guess. All right. He doesn't actually know the password. Can I just run prep time to log in? Well, I'll do that. If you want, you can bring it up after Crossfire. Okay, that's fine. Let's talk about your responses to my dropout argument. Sure. So you specifically say that you have $4 billion in lost wages, right? Now, let's talk about what lost wages are. Aren't lost wages simply saying that if they had graduated college, they would have gotten $4 billion more in income? It's costly, absolutely. Except the point is, the cost is they still pay for college. They still have massive loans, which they default on. You're looking at each individual hurdle in a vacuum. They combine to create these impacts. Here's the thing. Well, actually, let's address this a little bit longer. Because all I'm saying is that these $4 billion in lost wages simply, well, I haven't even finished what I'm saying here. All it says is that if they had graduated college, they would have gotten more money. It doesn't say that they lose that. It's not just that. That's what lost wages are by definition. Sure, but it's not just that with dropouts. It's also the fact that they have massive loans. Oh no, I understand. The biggest point is the opportunity cost. If these people, I understand you have other responses. I want you to address this response. If these people didn't go to, we will address your response. Can I ask you the question? The response. Sure. Okay. If these people didn't go to college specifically, rather if they did things like job experience, they'd be 44% more productive than college graduates. Sure, and we're going to respond to that in the next speech. Okay. Do you have any? Sorry, you don't. You don't have any. I mean, I'm not going to respond to your response in a crossfire. Sure. Okay. I can ask you a question. Okay. Sure. Okay. So, do you agree that I just want to really clarify because this is crucial. All of your impacts must be coming from college education and only college education, correct? Like, as opposed to what? As opposed to socioeconomic factors, intrinsic motivation, the millions of other factors other than the four specific years of person goes to college. We agree. Okay. That's from a college education. Okay. It has to only come from that, right? I mean, it can also come from other factors, but part of it comes from, for example, your stats don't matter. The resolution wants you to do a cost-benefit analysis. You can keep on talking over me, but that's not going to get any purpose. All I'm saying is that, for example, if motivation, for example, accounts for 10% of the increase in income, I'm saying that there can be other factors accounting for it. But if we can give you a specific amount that is attributable to a college education, then we'd still be winning this point. Now, can I ask you a quick clarification? Can I ask you a quick clarification question here? Okay, sure. Let's talk about your responses to my welfare argument. Okay. You essentially just try to cross-apply all your responses to the economy, right? And the fact that these people who actually at the point where half the people who don't graduate college, these people are the biggest burdens to our welfare system in the United States. But you agree that you're simply cross-applying your income responses here. So if we win the economic impacts, we actually win the welfare impact. It's not just the income response. Also the fact that your welfare point when is that from? Is it actually for college graduates at this very moment? I mean, we can put. I mean, obviously, no one can read evidence from this very moment. No, that's simply absurd. This is the point. I'm saying, if you want the date, we can read you the date. It's not the date. I'm telling you that the most important point is to not extrapolate statistics into the future, because I know for a fact, and Al Lee corroborates, that your statistics are people who graduated college beforehand, and the impacts are happening when we are looking to the present. If you look to the Georgetown study, it specifically looks at 2018, assuming a recession. That's also so. The fact is that they're still considering the present tense. They're still considering all the economic circumstances of what's going on. My partner's going to address that.
That was spicy. What did you guys think? Like, that was a spicy cross-ex. What did you guys think of that? You was going to jump across that table? Your mama? What you was going to do? Like, what was your response? What's your cross-ex? Shannon said, phew. Like, needs more chaos. You guys are silly. Like, too calm. You would have got up in them. What did y'all get from that cross sex? What did you notice something that they were doing in there? Did you like the way they were trying to trap each other, get a better understanding? What did you guys like about that or not like? What you guys think? Anybody kind of mute themselves or you can put it in the chat. Nobody? All right. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So I'm about to go to the next one. All right. Ready? Let's see how Pro does this. Will they break down in tears? What will happen next on Dragon Ball Z? So it looks like they're using prep time. Remember, you get 2 minutes of prep time you can use in between each speech with your partner. Because we're online this year, you guys, this prep time, you will need to get your partner's number so you can call each other instead of screaming across the screen. I don't think that's a good strategy. Your opponents can hear you. As you can see, it's 2 on each side. You will not be in front of a large crowd. Like I said in the announcements earlier, it would just be you, your partner, your opponent. I do recommend you stand, even if you're at home. I do recommend you stand when presenting because you want to be confident and get your best projection voice up, which requires you standing. So, Shannon, we're going to do partners next week. So if you see somebody in class that you enjoy and would like to partner with, you can shoot me a Slack or you can message that person on Slack and ask them would they like to be your partner. Because some of you guys go to schools we're not partnered with, you're more than welcome to just pick somebody that also doesn't have a partner at that school. If you go to a school we are partnered with and you do have a partner at your school, you can just ask them to be a partner and let me know. So if you don't have a partner and you like the way somebody participates in this chat, I would say look for them on the Slack. Everybody should be on Slack, and you guys can message each other and get started on your strategy. Start looking at that evidence together. Or if not, I'll pair you guys next week. All right, let's get started.
Remember, there's 2 main points you should be looking to. The first is that you should value societal impacts over individual impacts. Just because college is a transaction made between 2 people doesn't mean that we should only be looking to impacts between those 2 people. The resolution just doesn't specify that. We have to look to impacts on all of society. Secondly, my opponent comes up here and tells you that don't look to any studies that are post-recessional. Now, this is just not true. In fact, make my opponent come up here in his next speech and prove to you exactly how all of our studies have changed post-recessionally. Otherwise, they can't just say ignore all of our studies because the recession has changed it. Unless they can come up here and tell you that the income differential is totally different after the recession, you can't be looking to that. So with that said, let's go to my opponent's responses. The main response he makes to most of our contentions is that we can't show you causality. He comes up here and tells you about the idea of ability bias, which basically tells you that it's correlation and not causation. Remember, if we win this point, if we can prove causation, we're not only winning our first contention and much of our second contention, but we're winning, we're surpassing all of their burdens and that they've placed on us in their speech. So this is what we're going to need to win. So remember, we give you the study from the Seidman Research Institute, which tells you about identical twins. The study controls for socioeconomic background and for intelligence and comes to the conclusion that 90% of the wage differential is due to college. Only 10% is these other confounding factors. And this is going to be an actual quantification. So we're telling you how much of it actually comes from the college difference. We're actually showing you causation here. So with this, we get access to our income point. We're showing you $1.27 million increase in income. This is going to be a huge impact because it's going to cancel out all of the debt and like prohibitive costs that my opponents want to tell you about. Next, look to the argument of productivity. We're getting access to this because we're showing you a 40% increase in productivity, and this leads to the spillover effect, which remember, my opponent's only response is we shouldn't look to society, but remember, we're telling you the spillover effect leads to a 1.1% increase, or sorry, 1.3% increase in wages for all of society. Next, look to our second contention where my opponent completely drops our subpoint A. He's telling you essentially that this study is only about Arizona, but that's fundamentally not true. $1 investment leads to $27.
20 years. They responded by saying people earn about 1.3 million more dollars in their lifetime.
All right, so it looks like it cut out there. So before we wrap up practice today, I want to go into what did you guys get from that final response? Zach.
So I did like that they did use the 2008 recession as a factor. It certainly did leave an impact, and it still certainly does by the way that more young Americans are spending their money, and just definitely does, because of their credibility, it definitely does show that there's been a significant impact on, well, higher education and colleges as a whole. So that's something
Right.
that
Using real life experience, right? Using that experience and then find evidence to validate that. That's a great strategy to use in this debate. So this is the end of our practice for today. This is how we do Baudl staff-led practices every Wednesday. My name is Mya Whitaker. I'm the program director for Baudl. So not only am I you guys' instructor, I'm also the person that coordinates the entire league. So if you ever have any questions, you can always hit me on Slack. You can call me, you can text me. I'm available Monday through Friday unless we have an event on Saturday. And you can always call me or text me then. So if you ever have questions, you can Slack me throughout the week. If you're like, Mya, I can't find the evidence, or Mya, I don't know where this is, just Slack me and I can message you. Or you could be in the middle school chat in the channel and just say, hey, where does this go? Or what do we need to do? Or, hey, I'm looking for a partner. All of that, you guys are all able to connect with each other.